What's going on all of a sudden? Aren't you on a business trip? I'm kind of busy, so I'm gonna hang up. Wait a minute. Is there something else? You're at home today, right? Yeah. And you're coming back tomorrow, right? Yes. All right then. See you. The call ended. I felt a bit cold, but I wasn't pessimistic. I was actually planning to return from my business trip a day early. Today was my husband's birthday, and I wanted to surprise him with a celebration. But when I got home, a shocking scene awaited me. Huh? Is someone here? While I was pondering this, I could hear voices coming from the living room. And not just any voices. My heart was pounding, echoing through me. I approached the door step by step, slowly. I took a deep breath and peeked through the gap in the door. Why? In the living room, my husband and my best friend were embracing on the sofa. Seeing them in each other's arms, I couldn't leave. The expressions he never showed me, the words he never said, all of it was suffocating me. I will never forgive this. The feeling of worthlessness was soon replaced by immense anger. I took out my smartphone from my bag and recorded a video of them through the gap in the door. Of course, I didn't stop there. I immediately sent the video to someone. That person was my best friend's husband. They're doing this. That's unbelievable. I could feel the same anger and helplessness in his voice, even over the phone. But what should we do? They haven't noticed us yet. So, maybe. I suggested something to my best friend's husband. He accepted the proposal and restarted our plan. As a result, what awaited my husband and the others was hell. My name is Nancy, and I'm 27 years old, working as a salesperson. It wasn't a job I started out loving, but now I find it fulfilling every day. I switched careers to this job, and my trainer back then was the man who would later become my husband, Harry. How's it going? Getting used to the job? Yes. Thanks to you, I've learned a lot. That's good. Looks like you'll be ready to go on sales calls by next week. Yes, I will. Don't worry. I'll be accompanying you at first. Harry was always kind in teaching me the job, and it was natural for me to be drawn to him. After work, he often took me out for drinks, making me look forward to going to the office every day. Harry seemed to like me too, and about 6 months after I changed jobs, he confessed his feelings to me. Looking forward to being with you. Me too. Well, at work, since we're colleagues, we'll need to keep it formal, but feel free to speak casually otherwise. Yeah. I hadn't had much experience with relationships before, so sometimes I wondered if I was good enough for someone like me. But he accepted me for who I was. That's why I placed immense trust in Harry. Another 6 months passed, and a new truth came to light. What's with the formality all of a sudden? Oh, how should I say this? Harry looked unusually weak, something I couldn't have imagined from his usual self. I'll listen properly, okay? Thank you. What Harry told me next was beyond my imagination. Actually, Nancy, you're the first woman I've ever been in a relationship with. What? Really? You didn't seem like it. I've been managing to cover it up until now. Harry said this with a shy look, which made him appear really adorable. I wondered why such a great guy had never had a girlfriend before, but I thought it would be rude to ask and kept it to myself. 2 months later, on my birthday, Harry proposed to me. Of course, I accepted immediately. Here, this is for you. Thank you. It was a ring adorned with a small diamond. Overwhelmed with joy, I hugged Harry. Are you happy? Of course I am. I'm so happy. After that, we rented a new apartment and moved in together. We officially became husband and wife, starting our new life. That's when I got a call from my high school best friend, Adriana. Why didn't you tell me? About what? Not about what. About your marriage. Oh. Right. I had told Adriana about our relationship, but I hadn't informed her about our marriage. Sorry. We've been busy with finding a new place and all. That's okay. Can I come over to visit sometime? Sure, but... And I've got something I want to tell you, too. Okay, got it. From past experience, I knew that when Adriana said something like this, it usually wasn't good news. I mentioned this to Harry. My best friend wants to come over, is that okay? Of course. Thank you. A week later, Adriana came over. I went to the door as the intercom rang. When I opened it, there were two people standing there. Well? This is Hugo, my fiancé. What? I exclaimed so loudly it seemed to echo throughout the house. Hearing this, Harry came over. What's wrong? That was quite a shout. It's okay, don't worry. Then Harry noticed something. Huh? Why is Hugo here? Harry! What? Do you two know each other? More like, we're colleagues at work and friends. It took me a moment to process all this new information. I never imagined that my best friend's fiancé would be Harry's coworker. Wow. What? It's not often that partners or friends know each other, right? Well, yeah, that's true. Adriana was visibly excited, her eyes sparkling like a child who had found something rare. Anyway, I invited them into the living room, and we started chatting. The confusion settled, and we shared stories about how we met. And just before they left. Hey! Since we're all here, why don't we exchange contact information? Contact information? It's fate, right? Why not? So, Nancy and Hugo, Harry and Adriana exchanged phone numbers. Adriana sure is a lively person, isn't she? Yeah, she's always been like that. Got me into a lot of trouble back in the day. But you looked like you were having fun. Do I? Soon after, Adriana also got married. This meant more involvement with our close friends as couples. But then, Harry's behavior began to change. I first noticed it one day when he came home from work. Why didn't you answer your phone? Huh? You called? And have you been drinking? The smell of alcohol wafted around Harry as he spoke. Yeah. Hugo invited me for drinks after work. Just stopped by his place. Why didn't you tell me? Sorry. I meant to call. I thought maybe it was a one-time thing. But what if it happened every other day? Indeed, he started going out more on weekends. This was the beginning of the cracks in our marriage. I also introduced Harry to a chiropractor I used to visit because he complained about back pain. He was tall and had a severe hunchback. But when he came back from the chiropractor, he looked remarkably better. You look different. Do I? But I do feel lighter. You definitely look more handsome. Thanks. I was amazed how much of a difference just straightening his back made. And his face seemed to have regained some vitality too. It was when Harry started going to the chiropractor regularly and I accompanied him once. In the treatment room, I had an unexpected reunion. Could it be Michelle? Nancy, is that you? Why are you here? I transferred here from another place. Oh, I see. Michelle was another good friend of mine, like Adriana. We were all in high school together, but she moved away in our sophomore year due to family reasons. It's been since high school, hasn't it? Yeah. I never thought we'd meet here. Me neither. Michelle's massage skills were impressive. It was clear she had a lot of experience. Be sure to come back. I will. As I was paying, I noticed Harry, who had finished his treatment earlier, was comfortably chatting with Michelle on the couch. I left the place feeling a bit uneasy. On the way home. Wow, I feel really refreshed today. You do look great. But I wanted to ask you something. What's up? You seemed pretty close with Michelle. What? Nancy, you know her? Well, she's a friend from middle school. Really? Yeah, but I just found out today she works there. Oh, I see. Michelle is your friend. Is something wrong? No, not really. Let's just head home. I'm hungry. Though I had my doubts, I decided not to dwell on it further. As time passed, we might become acquaintances, I thought. Life was relatively peaceful, but Harry's late returns were still the norm. As newlyweds, this was starting to bother me. Isn't it strange you're always this late? What's wrong all of a sudden? We are still newlyweds, you know. Yeah, that's true. He seemed not to grasp the seriousness of the situation. But that wasn't all. It's like it's none of your concern. That's not true. I've been thinking about a lot. Can't help it. A bit early, but... Huh? Harry handed me a small box. It reminded me of the one he had when he proposed. I opened it and found a ring inside. Small but brilliantly shining. But why? You forgot? Day after tomorrow is Nancy's birthday, right? I completely forgot. I've been asking Hugo and others for advice on what to give for your birthday. Yes, I drank and came home late, but it wasn't because I disliked Nancy. Really? Really. Harry gently hugged me after saying that. It was more than enough for me. I felt Harry's love for me anew. After giving me the ring, Harry started coming home earlier and stopped coming back drunk. I really thought everything was finally settled. Months passed and the season changed to a cold winter. On Christmas Eve, we decided to gather at our house. It was Harry and me, Adriana and her husband, and Michelle. After enjoying some drinks and having a great time, Adriana, already feeling good, made a suggestion. Why don't we all go for a walk a bit? That sounds nice. Nancy, what do you think? I think it's a great idea. Then let's go early. We headed to a nearby park. As we got close, the place was crowded with people because of an event. There are so many people here. Indeed. We should stick together so we don't get lost. As we walked towards the park, we quickly got separated. I had left my phone at home since it was only a 10-minute walk. Why do I always forget it at times like this? I pushed through the crowd, looking for Harry and the others. Unable to find anyone, I sat down on a bench at the edge of the park. Where could they be? I heard whispering behind me. Turning around, I saw several trees, like a forest. Squinting, I could make out the shadows of a man and a woman, apparently kissing. Suddenly, someone spoke to me, nearly making my heart jump out of my chest. Nancy? What are you doing here? Oh, Hugo! I got separated and was looking for everyone when I saw you. I see. I glanced back at the forest where I had seen the two people, but they were gone. For now, we decided to head back to the entrance. After waiting about 10 minutes with no sign of the others, we decided to search again. Shall we search again? Yes, let's do that. We went around looking for the other three once more. Oh, do you have your phone? Yes, I do. Oh, right. Why didn't I think of that? Hugo tried calling Harry and Adriana, but neither answered. He had exchanged numbers with Michelle today, so he called her. Michelle answered right away. I took the phone. Michelle? Where are you? Well, near the big tree. And the others? Leave it to me. Wait. The call ended. I told Hugo about the call, and we both puzzledly headed back towards the bench. There, we found the three of them sitting on the bench. You were here all along? We've been looking for you too. Yeah, but we couldn't find you anywhere. While the two of them were saying this, Michelle was silent. Michelle? Is something wrong? No, nothing. Okay. I felt something was off with Michelle's behavior at that time. Afterward, the five of us returned home. Throughout the journey, Michelle was very close to Harry. She made gestures like linking arms with him, and Harry seemed to reciprocate. Seeing their expressions was frustrating for me. When we arrived home, we decided to take a nap until morning. We all ended up sleeping in the living room, with Michelle sleeping close to Harry. We slept until noon the next day. We really overslept, huh? Is something wrong, Adriana? No, why? Well, you just seem a bit grumpy. No, it's nothing. While talking to Adriana, I noticed Michelle laughing at us from the back. Harry was also smiling and chatting with Michelle. After they left, I confronted Harry. That's not true. Why would you think that? Huh? You were grinning the whole time. What are you talking about? You were happily chatting with Michelle. There's nothing wrong with talking. It's not about that. Enough already. This is getting annoying. Where are you going? Anywhere's fine. Harry took his wallet and left. This was the real start of hell. Harry hardly came home, and when he did, we only had brief conversations like work updates. He usually returned when I was asleep. Anticipating this, I waited for him in the living room. What? You're still up? I wanted to talk. Talk? I don't have anything to say. I'm tired, let me sleep. Wait, we can at least talk. Harry got increasingly irritated and did something unthinkable. Hey, what are you doing? What? It's none of your business. Harry had never referred to me in such a way. Stop it, please. Ignoring me, he threw the photographs we took on our trips, which I had cherished since our marriage, into the trash can. Not just that. He also carelessly threw away the engagement ring and other items. As if they were garbage. Stop it! I covered the trash can with my body. Harry kicked the trash can. It wasn't too big, but the impact sent me flying. Why did I even marry a troublesome woman like you? What are you saying? His eyes didn't look kind like Harry's anymore. He seemed like a different person, and I was terrified. Because I was covering the trash can, I felt pain in my abdomen. Seriously, how long are you going to stay like that? You're in the way. Do you realize what you're doing? Yeah, I do. From now on, you're going to listen to what I say, right? That's not going to happen. Harry then went to the bedroom and, unbelievably, went to sleep. Meanwhile, I rubbed my stomach and gathered the memories that were thrown in the trash can. I couldn't put them back in their original place, so I stuffed them into a bag I found nearby. I didn't like storing them this way, but I wanted to avoid them being thrown away again. Of course, I wasn't just going to stand by after this. The next day, I used my lunch break to prepare divorce papers. There was no bright future in staying with Harry. I waited for him to come home. He was late as usual. Arriving past midnight. I'm home. Welcome back. Oh, you're still up? I have something important to talk about, sit down. Huh? I don't have time for this. Just sit down. Fine. I managed to get him to sit down. We sat facing each other, but Harry was in a bad mood the entire time. I took a deep breath and faced Harry. Here. I handed him the prepared divorce papers. What's this? Divorce papers. Why? After what happened yesterday, this is the only option. I can't take it anymore. Wait a minute. No way. And you're cheating with Michelle, aren't you? What? What are you talking about? You were always so happy talking to her, and you were all lovey-dovey with Michelle. I was convinced that Harry was cheating on me with Michelle. Aren't you misunderstanding something? Sure, we talked, but that's only because she started the conversation. That doesn't mean you're not cheating. Are you serious? Harry seemed unfazed. If you doubt it so much, why don't you ask Michelle? But if you two are in cahoots, asking won't mean anything. All right. Harry started making a phone call. Who are you calling? Just be quiet for a little while. 30 minutes later, the doorbell rang. Wondering who it could be at this hour, I went to the door. There stood Michelle. Michelle! So that was your phone call earlier. Can I come in? Sure. Now it was me, Harry, and Michelle. I was a bit tense, but I couldn't back down. Can you explain what this is about? I'm a witness that Harry isn't cheating. Right? Yes. Nancy, we're not having an affair. I can't believe this. It's true. Well, actually, never mind. Huh? So I told you, didn't I? We're not in that kind of relationship. If you really can't believe it, suing is an option. But ultimately, it's Nancy who will suffer. Michelle's eyes, looking straight at me, didn't seem to be lying. Maybe I thought so because we had been friends for so long. However, I was still in doubt. Even if what Michelle said was true, the fact that Harry had disregarded what was important to me hadn't changed. Then why did you throw those things in the trash? That was, well, not because I disliked Nancy. I was out of my mind at that moment. Harry stood up and apologized. It almost made me feel like I was the bad one. As I was thinking this, I noticed Michelle looking at me, trying to convey something. I had never seen her so serious before. Please, forgive me. All right. But there won't be a next time. I understand. Since then, we have been having relatively peaceful times, I think. Amidst this, my business trip got scheduled. I'm off, then. It's 3 nights and 4 days, right? Yes. Take care. I left for the business trip. It went smoothly, and I was able to return a day earlier than planned. Returning a day early meant I could celebrate Harry's birthday. I kept my return a surprise. However, since it was Sunday, I would be in trouble if he wasn't home. So I called to check his whereabouts. What's up all of a sudden? Aren't you on a business trip? I'm a bit busy, so I'm gonna hang up. Just wait. Is there something else? You're at home today, right? Yeah. And you're coming back tomorrow, right? Yes. All right then. See ya. The call ended. I felt a bit cold, but I wasn't pessimistic. I was preoccupied with celebrating Harry's birthday. I couldn't buy a big cake, but I bought a small one. I also bought wireless earphones he had wanted as a gift. But when I returned home, a shocking scene awaited me. Is someone here? While pondering, I heard voices from the living room. Not just any voices. My heart was pounding, echoing through me. I slowly approached the door. Taking a deep breath, I peeked through the gap in the door. Why? In the living room, Harry and Adriana were embracing on the sofa. Why are those two together? But that conversation earlier was so funny, wasn't it? Right? It was a masterpiece. And to think she suspected Michelle. Well, thanks to that, we can be together like this. Indeed. So that was what it was all about. After that conversation, they began to passionately love each other again. Watching them, I was so confused that I couldn't move. The expressions they showed each other, the words they exchanged, it all suffocated me. I told myself to calm down and took a deep breath. Then, slowly, anger began to well up inside me. I will never forgive this. I felt ashamed for having doubted Michelle, but forgiving them was not an option for me now. I took out my smartphone from my bag and recorded a video of the two through the gap in the door. But I didn't stop there. I had an idea. I decided to send the video to someone. It was Adriana's husband, Hugo. Did you see the video I just sent? She's doing this. Unbelievable. She's been deceiving me. No, it's worse than that, Harry. I could feel the same anger and helplessness from Hugo over the phone. But what should we do? They haven't noticed us yet. So, maybe. I suggested something to Hugo. He agreed to the plan, and we started our actions. What awaited the husbands was hell. I quietly left the house and waited for Hugo's arrival. Sorry, I'm a bit late. No problem. Are you ready? Of course. We entered the house again. From the living room, we could hear their intimate noises. Peeking through the gap, I felt nauseous. Are you okay? Thank you. I'm fine. Hugo's fists were trembling, perhaps from the force of his grip. By the way, is Hugo okay? Yeah. He's fine. He's quite oblivious. I see. He's good at his job, but he's too serious and boring. That's harsh. It's okay. I'm just using him as much as I can. Unable to bear it anymore, Hugo opened the door and barged in. What the hell are you two doing? Hugo looked like he was about to hit them. He must have wanted to. But he spoke calmly instead. The two were frozen, unable to comprehend what was happening. Really, such foolish people. What? Well, I guess I'm part of that too. And weren't you supposed to be on a business trip? I was supposed to be, but I came back a day early to celebrate your birthday. For this, I threw the present and cake I had bought at Harry. What's this? A present for you. Really messed up people. Human trash is what you call people like you. Adriana reacted to those words. What? It's because you're boring. Harry is so much better than you. Hey! Hugo, please calm down. So? What are we going to do now? It's obvious. We're getting a divorce right away. The two seemed not to have considered that seriously. They were showing a look of surprise. If so, they were truly foolish. But wait! What about Michelle? Adriana confronted Harry. What are you talking about? Even last time, you two had a suspicious vibe, right? It was like seeing myself from a little while ago. Call Michelle here. I sensed this was about to turn into a real mess. Adriana thought Harry and Michelle had an affair, but considering what happened before, that seemed unlikely. Harry called Michelle. She arrived here in about 10 minutes. What's going on with everyone? Adriana immediately attacked Michelle. You were having an affair with Harry, weren't you? What? No way. Right? Yes, of course. Then why were you so clingy? Michelle started laughing. Oh, that? Well, what's so funny? Because it's just as I imagined. Huh? My reason for getting close to Harry? It was to draw you out. I couldn't quite grasp what Michelle was saying. What do you mean? We all gathered and I suspected something between the two. I was testing to confirm it. Why didn't you tell me? Because Nancy, you can't hide your feelings. Michelle was right in what she said. If I had been told, I would have been staring at the two of them. But was what I did too meddlesome? Not at all. Well, after doing all this, it might be hard to live a normal life from now on. Oh, right. I have something to ask Michelle. I whispered in Michelle's ear. Ah, I see. Leave it to me. Michelle seems to know things I don't. Then Harry and Adriana reacted. Hey! What are you talking about? Nothing important. Aren't you embarrassed, whispering like that? Not at all. Anyway, you'll probably be hearing from a lawyer later. Look forward to it. That's how it is. Can you two leave now? You're in the way. They hurriedly dressed and left the house together. We who remained sat down at the table and took a breather. I'm so tired. But the hard part is just beginning. It's really headache-inducing. Later, we drank canned beer at the house and commiserated with each other. Hugo and I went to a lawyer's office together afterward. With the video I had filmed, our divorce process seemed straightforward. After the divorce was finalized, Harry contacted me. What the hell did you do? What? Why so sudden? Because of you, I had to quit my job. Really? That's interesting. Don't you care? Well, it's your fault, isn't it? Good luck. We're not done talking. Goodbye. I hung up and sighed. I also called Michelle. Thanks to her, Harry had lost his job. What's up? Thanks to you, Michelle. Harry is jobless now. Good to hear. What else did you say besides the video? Stuff about the walk. Like how the two of them were in the woods that time. Trying to start something in the cold. You know, various things. Seriously? But this will make things easier. How's Adriana? I also asked about Adriana, and it seems she also quit her job. I heard from Hugo that things were even worse than imagined. After the divorce, Harry and Adriana started living together, but they were constantly fighting and struggling financially. Really just fools. Since then, I've been enjoying my single life. Michelle and I continued our friendship. From now on, I will live happily.